Let's go to this vibe coding thing, right? So if I'm sitting down, I have a product idea, I'm sitting down in front of Lovable, Replit, any of these other tools. What tips would you give me to help me get over that initial learning curve faster than others?
You should treat this tool as a human. So whatever a human would need to understand what you want, the same thing is needed for the vibe coding tool. So the better your spec, the better the output. But at the same time, don't complicate it. So for example, like the best way to make sure you get good result is to have a list of things you definitely want. Like you list the features, and with every feature you list some raw model of how that feature should be implemented. And then you do another list where you say, don't do these things. For example, like don't implement the user portal, for example. Like just use something that's quick and easy, or don't use database. Just store data in the browser, for example. Like just list the things you need and things you don't need, and make sure those lists are long, because the AI might just start implementing something that you don't really need, and then the whole thing grows. And the bigger the project, the bigger is the chance that it won't work after you try it.
So keep it really, really simple, yeah?
Like if you do it with humans are naturally lazy, and also they understand the concept of MVPs. So if you don't list all those things, usually humans will still do a good job. But AI is kind of too smart sometimes, and it tries to do things too well. And only you know that like this part of the product is not important to get it done well. You can do it somehow, or you can just use existing SDK or things like that. So basically, if you have really, really good spec, like now I'm so good at speccing that I don't even do any follow-up questions or follow-up prompts with Lovable. Like I get one shot and it just works.
Do you have like an outline or a framework that you follow to get it into this one-shot style?
Yeah.
prompt?
So first I start with the business model, because if you share the business model, it kind of helps AI a lot, because it understands not just the tool part, but also why people need it. So I share like who is the user, why they need it, how often they need it, and what they hate about existing products, and what they would love to see in such product. So that's kind of first part. The second part is the list of features with numbers. So number one is like the user registration, and I say only email or only Google, nothing else, for example. And then number two, something else. So I just list all the features, and I add details for each feature, trying to simplify it. Because if you don't simplify it, AI will naturally try to do a good job and make it really, really well. And usually it makes complicating things. So you have to mention how can you simplify everything. And I mentioned that for every feature. And then once I listed all the features, I have this long list of things not to do. I write like don't do this, and then I have the longest list is actually the one where I ask it to not to do things, and that's it.
This must be the longest, most time-intensive part of the process then, by the sound.
Yeah, I actually don't do it at once. So I have my notes where I keep creating this prompt, and I come back to this prompt once in a while, and whenever I feel it kind of looks perfect, then I bring it to the Lovable, or usually I bring it to all of them, because it's interesting that sometimes some tools are doing way better than the other tools. Like Lovable is great one day and it's not that great the other day, because they are changing the code, they are changing the models. That's why you should try like 3-4 tools with the same prompt.
What do you do if you've like built the beginning of the tool in one product, and then you're like, oh, Lovable's not doing so great today?
I move.
Like you can move the whole thing from one.
You can just copy it over into another tool.
Yeah, I did that. So I have this product for my directory guide. It's a learning management portal. I started building that using Bolt, and it did a really good job. But then whenever I started asking it for backfixing and things like that, it started breaking the whole thing. So I just took the code and I moved to Cursor. So I moved to Cursor, And I think that's probably the way you should do. So the vibe coding tools are great to start, but they're not meant to produce production grade products because they are rather for MVPs. But Cursor is actually great for production grade products. So, but you have to do some coding, or at least you have to read some code there, because in Lovable it's pure no code, so you can just talk to the thing. But in Cursor you have to be more technical, and I think people should become more technical while building their product.
Hey, if you enjoy that clip, you're going to love the full episode of Winning Friends. Check it out in the link below.